everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you guys are doing extremely fine. So in this particular video we'll be creating a task application in which I'll be helping you understand the concepts of user defaults, because many people face difficulty using user defaults. So what I want is that you first watch the whole video in detail and understand each and every concept, and after you have understood the concepts, you go and create the application by yourself. So by following this, you will get hands-on practice. And the main purpose of this video is to explain you the core functionality and not to create a good UI. So I'll be emphasizing more on the functionality and less on the UI. So let's start. So we'll create a new project. Okay. So let me name the project as Tasks app. We'll save it on desktop. Okay. So delete this content we will be creating from scratch. Okay, now we don't have content view, so I'll be creating a folder. Let's name it as models. Okay, and then we'll be creating a new file. Name it something like tasks or Swift. Okay, so let me just create a model for the task. So we'll be using struct. Okay, so struct will be creating a copy of the whatever model I am creating. Okay, and we have not used class here, that's why. So we'll confirm it to identifiable. Identifiable does is that every task is unique. Okay, so identifiable is a confirmation that tells Swift that hey, this and this task may look similar but they are actually different. So identifiable confirms to this, and we'll be using codable. Okay, so I have used codable here for a very strong reason, and that I'll be explaining you in later part of the video. So please remember this, we have to use codable here. Okay, so to confirm identifiable we have to pass a ID. Okay, and let me create the ID. So what this function is doing, that it will be passing a unique ID to every task. Okay, then let us create a task name. Okay, so name would be of type string. We can also use description. This will be of type string. Okay, so that's our model is done. Now let's go and create the screen. So I'll create a new folder, name it something like views, creating a new file, name it as tasks view. Okay, so first we'll be removing this boilerplate code. We'll be using a virtual stack, and in this virtual stack I want that here somewhere I want a text field. So I'll be using a horizontal stack because I'll be using a button with it. So horizontal stack, I'll use a text field. Let's name text field as something like enter your tasks, and this will also demand a text, and this is demanding a binding. So we'll be creating a binding. Make it as a private, and for your understanding I'll name it as text field data, which will be empty for now, and I'll be passing that here. So what's happening here is that whenever there is a change in text field, it will notify this text field that hey, there is a change, and you can update yourself with the data into the text field. Okay, so this text field data will always be the updated one. So I'll style it as text field style rounded border text field style. Okay, perfect. The text field is coming here, but I also want a button, so I'll be creating a button. Button will have a action and will have a label. Okay, so in label I can either pass a text or I can either use an image for a button like thing. Okay, so I'll be using an image. So the image would be something like you can just directly press Windows Shift L from your keyboard to see the suggestions. So Windows Shift L, I can add like something add button. Okay, okay, this looking good. Okay, let us see if it's coming here. Okay, button is coming, but I want the button color as green, so I'll mark it as foreground color dot green. Let's wait for it to update. Okay, so green is coming. I want some padding here, so I'll be giving padding. Now it's looking good. So for now I'm leaving the button action as empty, and we'll come later here to see what we can do. Okay, so by entering the task here, I want that task to get shown one by one in below list. Okay, so for this I have to create a array. I'll also mark it as state because I want the updated data every time. We'll name it as task, which would be of type tasks array. Task is nothing but the model which we have created earlier, this task. Okay, and in starting this is will be empty. Okay, we have to declare var. Okay, fine. So on this button action will be appending this text field data into this task array. Okay, so let me just use my tasks array and use the append function directly. This will append text field data, which is the updated text field one, and this will append into tasks. So task will be having a list of tasks which we are adding, and this is saying that cannot convert value of type string to expected argument task. Okay, so we have to pass task type here. Okay, so I'll be using task, and okay, let me go and mark is this description as optional for now, and come back to here and pass the name as text field data. Okay, I'll give it a default value as empty. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Okay, so this horizontal stack, let me fold this for a better visibility. Okay, so our search bar is done, but now I need a list, so I'll be creating a list. But before that I want my search bar to be over here, not in middle, so I'll be giving a spacer below which will lift it up. Okay, now this is perfect. So I need a list here. This list will take my tasks data, and this will demand a closure, and if I not pass closure it will give me an error. Okay, so this is giving me an error, so I will pass tasks in. Okay, and here I want something like a bar, so I'll be using a, for now I'll use a simple text button, text.name. Okay, let's just test this for now. I'll use that dummy. Okay, so this is coming. Okay, and okay, so this is coming. I can also use my task.description and whatever other things that I have, but I want that with this task I also have a delete button, so I'll wrap this into a horizontal stack. Okay, and here with spacer I'll be using a image, but I want that image to be a button, so I'll be using the button. And in label I'll be passing that image. As I have told you earlier, we can use text and image both, so I'll be using a text. And Windows Shift L, we got the suggestion, we want delete, so I'll use this minus button type thing. Okay, again we'll be marking this action as empty. We'll come later to see what we can do here. And I want this in red color, so foreground color dot red. Okay, so let us see if it's coming. Okay, it's coming. Okay, so now I want that on click of this particular button, I want this tasks to get removed from the tasks array. So I'll be using the button action, and I'll be using if let I want index, so index is equal to my tasks array dot first index, where I want the condition that my particular this tasks id is same as that tasks id. Okay, I'll remove task dot remove at index, that particular index. Okay, so let's verify this. I'll add two tasks, dummy1, dummy2. Okay, I'll delete this dummy1. Okay, it's getting deleted. Dummy2, it's getting deleted. Perfect. Now here there is an issue that when I'm adding the new task, this should get clear. Okay, so we'll use that action also. Okay, here on the adding of this, I want that text field data would get clear, so we'll pass it here. Okay, let's test this. Okay, it's getting clear. Perfect. So till this point of time, our basic task to-do list application has been completed. But now I want to implement user defaults here. Okay, so we'll just directly create a object for the user default. So I'll be using something like let my user defaults is equal to user defaults dot standard. Perfect. So where we need user defaults at that time of adding the task, at the time of deleting the task. These are the 2 points where we need user defaults, and one more when we are loading the task. Okay, so let's create those functions. So I'll be folding this virtual stack. Okay, I'll create a function load tasks and a function save task. Okay, so what this save task will do here is that it will take this task and will store into our user defaults. Okay, but there is an issue. I can't directly put my tasks array into user defaults because task is of type task and user defaults can't store data types of custom. It can only store integer, number and strings, but it can't store custom arrays. To save this task into the user defaults, we have to first encode it. But before this, I'll show you what will happen if I try to save this task into user defaults directly. Okay, so I'll use my user defaults dot set value would be task. For key, let's say I'll create my tasks. Okay, so let me use save task wherever needed. So on press of this button, after the text field data get empty, I'll call save task in and when the my vstack appear on appear tasks. Perfect. So let me check this if this will give me an error. So I'll use something like dummy add. Okay, preview crashed. So this is not showing me an error here. So what is happening here is that user defaults is not allowing tasks array because it doesn't allow of custom data types. So what we will be doing here is that I'll be let encoded data as try JSON encoder. So we have already the methods of JSON encoder and JSON decoder, and for this particular purpose only we have used codable. So codable is nothing but just a type aliases. When we if we go to the definition, we can see it is just a type aliases for encodable and decodable, which will help this particular model to be encoded and decoded. Okay, so we'll use the functions which are provided and we'll use encode, and the value would be my task. Perfect. And we'll store this value into my user defaults dot set value would be encoded data for string my task. Okay, so this should not give me an error now. Okay, we have to, for every block we have to use catch block. So I'll catch, and if there is cut. Okay, so this should not give me an error now. Let us check. I'll be saving that same dummy data. Okay, now this is adding and this is also not giving me error. Okay, so our save task is completed. Now I want to load task. So for this again we'll be using do catch block. Okay, same like some error record. We are not focusing here on error handling because our main purpose is user default. So if let data is equal to my user defaults dot data for key, what is our key? My tasks. Okay, so for key my tasks I'll be using JSON decoder dot decode. This would be of type tasks. Okay, from data. Okay, so what is the error? Okay, so we have to store it somewhere now. So task is equal to task would be our array. Okay, so it when the application will load first time, it will update the task with the stored information from the user defaults. Okay, so I have to use try here. Okay, so what is the error here? Maybe I have to use self here. Okay, so this won't give me an error, and let's run in this live application to see if our application is running fine. So this is showing me empty screen because I have not provided the task view here. Let me provide the task view. Let me rerun the application. Okay, so let me add some dummy tasks. Task 1, task 2, task 3. Okay, I'll kill this application. Okay, see, you can see the task is loading itself from the persistent data storage. If I use delete, it will be working fine. And yeah, you can now go and practice yourself. You can use different models, different type of application. So the basic crux is that whenever we are using a custom data type, we need to encode and decode before saving and loading from the user default. Okay, so thank you guys for watching the video this far, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video and learned something. If you really like the video, please press this like button and subscribe to me, and thank you so much.